Hello, knockouts. Tonya Tko here, and we are here for Advice Hour number 2. We came out for the first time last week with Advice Hour, and we're back here for another week. So let's get ready to get started. Uh, we're doing a very casual Advice Hour today because I'm moving today, so I just I didn't know if I was even going to make it for today. So I'm here, you're here. I'm here, you're here. Where's that from? That reminds me of something. I'm here, you're here, and I really love your company. Something. You know what? What is that? Ah, goodness. Okay. All right. What song is that? What song is that? So it's I'm here, you're here, and I really love your company. Something. All right. I don't know. Listen, so I decided to come in a few minutes early. Is okay, let's take a long walk. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm here, you're here. And so we're going to be jumping into it. Somebody said I haven't packed much. I live in an RV. So I don't need to, the only thing that I have to do is secure things and strap things down. As you see, my books back there strapped down. These things are Velcro to the wall, so those don't come up. But I do have a lot of stuff on the table, and on the counters, like all of the glass jars from my kombucha. I got to do a better job. I got to do a better job with that. But nonetheless, so listen, we're here for Advice Hour. I'll probably cut out these first few moments where we're just clowning around. And then we'll get right into the Advice Hour. Let me get my smart glasses on. Okay. All right. You know these were my Wakanda frames in the video. So listen. All right. So Tonya Tko is in the building. So the telephone number is 323 488 3149. And if you call in right now, you'll be able to speak with me live on the air and ask your question. So we are going to be limiting our questions to, we're going to do 5 minutes, all right? So that people get a chance so that we can get more people in. So we're going to be limiting it to 5 minutes, okay? So get your questions together. Let me clear this. All right. All right. So the telephone number is, oh, you know what? I got to turn on the thing. I didn't turn it on. Give me one moment. I came in early and forgot to turn on the phone number. So let me, all right, give me just one moment. I just have to log in. I'm here, you're here, and I really love your, or is it I really love your company? I really dig your company. I'm here. For some reason, dig just seems like it is. I'm here, you're here, and I really dig your company. Something. And so, somebody said something about long videos. Thank you. Some of them be long-winded. What are you talking about? Wait, hold on. I missed something. I should do Advice Hour in my Caribbean voice. You're so silly. You all are so funny. All right. So, let's see. Let me open up the app. When I tell you I'm tired. So, the people who call in will have their questions answered. Um, I, your style, your smile, your peace mentality. Thank you. Something. That ain't the way it goes. That ain't the way it goes. Ah. All right. Forgive me for being a little out of sorts. I am tired. It's raining. Thank God I hooked the trailer up Because I was like, you know what? Let me hook the trailer up before I do advice hour. And I'm so glad that I did, because otherwise I would have had to go out there in the rain. When I left for New York, it was like 30 degrees, and one of my neighbors said he would drive me to the train to get to the airport, and we were out there trying to hook up this trailer in the freezing cold and rain. I'm telling you, I lost sensation in my fingertips for like 3 weeks. I had to start googling whether or not it would ever come back, so I'm glad. Okay, you're here. I'm pleased. I really dig your company. Oh yeah, that does sound that okay. Well, I was almost right the first time. All right, telephone number is 323-488-3149. If nobody has any questions, homegirl is getting out of here. But I know people have questions, so the lines are open right now. I need the first call to come in so that we can. When did you call? So okay, so you know what? I'm sorry. I had okay, all right. My bad, my bad. I did not open up. Okay, so here comes in the first phone call. My bad, my bad. You're on the air live with Tonya Tko for Advice Hour. What's your name, caller?
Pam.
Hi, well, you could just give me whatever it is you want me to call you by. Okay, so Pam. All right, so
Yes.
Pam, let's talk. What's going on?
Well, I just recently reconnected with an ex-boyfriend from twenty, probably 28 years ago.
Oh,
And
okay.
my question is, even though it seems like we're vibing now, I just want to know if that's a good idea to go back to that.
Well, well, how old are both of you now?
We're late 40s now. It was like we were like 20
Okay.
when we first dated.
Well, you know what? This is a really good question. I'm glad that you called in to ask this. So, one, people change a lot over the years. And it really depends on what was the reason why you all broke up. What was the reason that you all broke up?
Well, I broke up with him because I thought that he was cheating, but he tells me now that he wasn't cheating.
What was it that made you think he was cheating?
Well, I found a letter about professing his love to somebody else, and he had sucker bites on his neck. But he says he wasn't cheating. He knows it was wrong. He shouldn't have had sucker bites on his neck. But I never approached him about the letter because I don't think he knew I saw it in his room. And I didn't want him to think I was nosy. So I never really told him that I saw the letter.
Okay. You know, Pam, okay, so I'm glad that we got more information. When it comes to people having the feeling that somebody else is cheating, there's either one of two things going on. Either or three things, right? You're self conscious, right? The
Yes.
other person is cheating, that's two. Or three, the person is they're behaving in such a manner that doesn't assure you of their fidelity, and they're not willing to do the things necessary to assure their fidelity to you. So
Okay.
I find it problematic that you're saying that this man had hickey marks on his neck, that you found a letter of him professing his love. You haven't spoken to him about, what it was, all of the information that you have. So he's saying that he wasn't cheating. You saw the hickeys on his neck. You saw the letter. I think that it's a good idea, because if you're in your late 40s, are you looking to get married and settle down?
Now that I don't know because I was married for 15 years and my ex-husband left me for another woman, so I'm not sure if I want to go there again. I'm not sure.
Okay. So, you know what? This sounds like there's some unhealed stuff going on. So it seems like you have a pattern of dating men who have cheated. Is this correct or incorrect?
Well, I mean, I guess so. I never thought my ex-husband would cheat on me, but it happened.
Yeah, well,
But yeah, I guess it's been a pattern, but I thought I was happily married at least for the first. 12 years. But
Yeah. And so you thought you were happily married. When did you realize that you were not happily married? Was that when you said he left you for someone else?
yes, but I wasn't reading the signs that were obvious. I just thought he needed time to go out and do his thing, and I didn't want to be a nagging wife, so I didn't really pressure him about staying out all night and not being able to pay bills and things like that. I just said, well, he just needs to, get himself together and do his own thing for a while, and then he'll see that I'm here for him,
Okay.
and I keep the house together and everything. So he'll see that I'm just waiting here for him to, you know, I guess run wild for a little bit and come back.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you what it is that I'm hearing, right? And you can correct me if I'm wrong. Now, first, I applaud you for opening up your heart to love again, to letting somebody from your past back into your life. It takes a lot of courage, especially after a divorce, to be able to get back out there and, and date again. So I applaud you for that. One of the things that I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that there is a pattern of not really putting everything on the table and hashing
Yeah,
everything out, even till this day,
yeah,
because even till this day, you're holding back information about the letter that you found. You're attempting to take him at his word on this
yeah,
cheating or not cheating. And so there's a lot that can change in 20 years.
yeah,
However, what is it that's changed in you? So when you change, the your calibration changes, and then the
hmm,
people that you attract changes, the way that you interact with those people changes. So we've reached almost the 6 minute mark now. So I'm
I'm
just,
sorry.
no, please don't apologize, please don't apologize. So my advice to you is to really take some time digging deep within yourself.
Okay,
There may be some therapy which may need to take place. So really going,
probably,
I'm sorry.
probably, yes,
Yeah, so digging deep within yourself, going and getting that therapy and working on those issues so that one, you can trust your gut a lot more. Two, so that you can have the confidence and the courage to be able to open up and really put it out there. Because we're grown now. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah.
like it's time that we started having the tough conversation. So thank you so much for calling in, Pam.
Thank you, thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Have a great
Bye.
day. All right.
You too.
Okay. So the lines are open. Hello, you're on the line with Tonya Tko.
Hi, Miss Tracy. How are you?
Hi, did you say your name was Tracy?
Yes, my name is Tracy.
Okay. Hi, Tracy. So talk to me and tell me
Hi.
what's going on.
I've been married for almost 18 years this year.
You know what? Let me
And,
let me turn the volume up. I'm having a hard time hearing you. 1 second.
okay.
Okay. So,
Okay.
all
Can
right.
you hear me better now?
Well, I've already turned up the volume, so whichever way, I hear
Okay.
you better now. All right. So go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so I've been married almost 18 years. It'll be 18 years in July this year.
Uh huh.
I have a really good husband. We have a great relationship. Um, However, I shouldn't say however. One of the issues that I have right now, not going to say right now, that has been going on within my marriage is communication. I'm quite talkative, and my husband is pretty much introverted,
Mhm.
but he speak all the time. But I find myself still somewhat lonely. And so I have told him plenty of times, babe, I'm lonely. He is like I'm a social butterfly. He's quite reserved. And when we first met and got together, We had a long distance relationship, so it was a situation where as we weren't in the same state, so I was always the one that would be talking on the phone, and he'll just be answering and listening, and he'll give us little input, but I never even caught it. Whereas it was like it wasn't enough of
Mm.
input. So because it was a long distance relationship, we kind of moved forward pretty quickly. We got married we got engaged in 6 months, and we were married a year later. But within that time, it was mainly, a lot of phone calls, and we had probably about six, like face-to-face visits because I was we were in two different states. Long story short, throughout these years, I found myself saying, babe, let's do something, let's go somewhere. And he felt like a movie, maybe, let's go to a mall or something like that. That was it. But he's not the type person that really likes to socialize. I do. I have friends. He told me he don't need friends, and I would always say, sweetheart, as long as you're on this earth, you're going to need people. So you just want to call people just when you need them. And so after continuously saying, baby, I need, you to talk with me. I need us to spend time, like in a conversation. It would always be basically one-sided where he says, and I would ask him like open-ended questions in order for him to like communicate back to me, but it was always a just to-the-point answer.
Mm-hmm.
So we began to do some marriage counseling. After so long, it got to the point where they were like, even the marriage counselors, because we this is at our church, they were basically like, well, you didn't do your homework, Tracy. He is who he is and everything. And I'm like, yeah, I love him, but he's telling me, listen, I'm talking, I'm doing everything, that you need. But I don't know. It's like, what do I do because it's almost like I'm asking for something from him that he can't give me. I mean, am I expecting something that's not there? Or am I expecting too much? Because it's just like, I'm going to give you a great example. We sat down after counseling and we did like the love language test.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about that and we were done. And he seen that I really like communication and he likes, like he's more affectionate. We do all of that, okay, affectionately, but I'm like, okay, we talk. So he said, I'll talk more. So what he'll do is while we're talking, he'll ask me a question. Therefore, being the talkative person, I'll continue to rant on. So now I'm saying, okay, I caught on to it, but what are you going to bring to the table as far as just asking me a question? And he's just like, well, I'm talking to you. I'm still talking. So one day I said, well, babe, you know what? You're really not talking. I'm lonely. I am lonely in this marriage where it's getting to the point where I'm not trying to cheat. I will not cheat, but I'm just lonely where I want to find other people to talk to, want to go out. And he told me, well, listen, I sat down and I talked to you last Tuesday. Remember, we talked about, and I'm thinking, honey, if you can pinpoint the exact day and time that we talk, I think there's something wrong in a marriage if you can actually do just that. And that's like, look, I completed that assignment. You see what I'm saying, Tonya?
Okay. Yeah, no, totally. And so let me ask you this question. You said you've been married for 18 years. Were
Yeah.
you lonely before you got married?
I don't believe I was lonely. And the reason why I say I don't believe is because I wasn't married. I was in a relationship prior to meeting him, like 2 years before meeting him. And before then, we were both, me. I had no children and everything is just working, hanging with my girlfriends, working, and eventually, I met him. And I don't believe I was married. I never,
Okay.
no, I never
So,
felt that way. No.
yeah, okay. So, what is it that you're lonely for? What do you feel that you're missing? And we're coming upon the 6 minute mark right now.
Okay. Um, I think what I'm lonely for is just my husband communication. I'm bored, Tanya. I mean, when I say I'm bored, I have found every activity I can, but he can come in and he can say like 5 words to me in a whole day, and he's quiet and content. And I'm like, let's talk. And I find myself basically just talking by myself, and he'll just, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have to be honest with you, Tracy. I don't think that the issue is with your husband. I think loneliness, boredom, those types of things come from within. It's like,
Okay.
what type of relationship do you have with yourself? What are you doing to
Mhm.
satisfy yourself? What are you doing
Mhm.
to fulfill yourself? Because it sounds like somewhere along the lines, some of the things that you may have loved doing, some of the people that you may have loved being with, some of the some of the person that you used to be where you enjoyed your company and you were enjoying your life is no longer there. So you said you didn't have children before, so that means that you have children now, correct?
We have one daughter. Yes, and she's 14 now. Yes.
Okay, so I think that the biggest issue is really finding ways that you can enjoy your own company. Because I can guarantee you, if you're bored with your husband, you're going to be bored without your husband. Like that boredom comes from way down deep inside of you, where you have to touch base with that, whatever is going on inside of you, to find self fulfillment. How are you feeling in? So I'm going to ask you these questions, but these are things that you're going to have to answer once we get off the line, because most of our time was spent, getting the issue out. So you're going to have, you need to ask yourself, you need to ask yourself, how are things feeling inside of your job? Spiritually, are you fulfilled? Sexually, are you fulfilled? Entertainment wise, are you fulfilled? Intellectually, are you fulfilled? Do you need to take a class? Do you need to exercise more? Do you need to travel more? Do you need to get some sort of hobby? Do you need to find out who this new Tracy 20 years later is? Because I'm getting the feeling
Right.
that there's a lot of things about yourself that you don't know. And it's like we become addicted to our feelings and our emotions. So, somewhere along the
Mhm.
lines, this feeling of loneliness, and you say that you weren't lonely before him, but I can imagine that there was a loneliness that existed in there that you were able to pacify with other activities, whether that was other people or outings or whatever the case may be. So you were able to pacify yourself, but not really get down to the root of it. So these feelings that we have are patterns that exacerbate throughout the years. And so take some
Okay.
time to figure out who Tracy is, because since we singing songs tonight, if you think you're lonely now.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere, honey. I know I have a good husband. I'm just thinking, I was just like,
I
what
just,
do I
I
need
just,
to
you know
do?
what? You're
I
the
don't
only
want to do.
person. You're the
Oh
only
no, I'm not
person.
leaving that man.
You're the only person talking about leaving. This is the second time that you've mentioned it.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
I think that you're gonna have, and then you seem to get a little riled up talking about that, which means that there's a part of you that is thinking about leaving.
No, I think
No,
with,
listen.
and I heard
That's
you with that.
we've come to 10 minutes now, Tracy. But
Okay, okay, okay. Well, thank you for your advice, Tanya. I appreciate
thank
it.
you, Mama. Bye.
All right, take care. Bye bye.
All right. All right, so we're going to take the next caller, and somebody inside of the audience is saying it's a marriage. If Tracy wanted to do things alone, she would have stayed single. Who? You know what? When you come into a marriage, you're joining two complete people. And she married the man that she chose to marry. She chose to marry an introvert. And they balance each other out. Like she said, they have a really good relationship. And your partner cannot satisfy the feelings of loneliness inside of you. Feeling lonely? All right. So thank you so much for calling. What's your name? You're on the line live with Tonya.
Hello, my name is Adam Williams. How you doing?
Hi, Adam. Welcome to the line. So you have a love or relationship question?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been dating for the past 3 years and some change now.
I need you to speak up,
I don't
okay?
know. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, much better. Mm-hmm.
Yes. For some reason, when I go on dates and I mention the fact that I'm not ready to just lay down with any old body, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I have the last time I had relations with a woman was 2017 in January, and when I tell a female that on a date, she automatically almost shuts down. And it's just a personal preference of mine that I choose to have love with my lovemaking. You know what I mean? It's not so much I want to be married, but I just want to know you better. You know what I mean? Before I lay down with you, and I get a whole bunch of females who just want to do that. Maybe it's just my way of who I'm choosing to date. Maybe that may be it.
Mm-hmm. How old are you now?
40.
Okay, so you're 40. All right. And so the women that you're dating, how old are they?
Usually between 35 and 40,
Okay. And
or 42.
okay, so between 35 and 42. Okay, and so you said you're going out on these dates. How is the subject of what you're doing with your penis coming up on a first date? I want to know more about how that starts to come up.
Usually we have small talk about, I get to know her, try to look for the red flags and whatnot. And most times the woman brings up her sexual past and what she did with her ex-boyfriends. And I kind of find that a red flag right there, that you're talking about, your sexual life in a first date. But at the same time, I say it maybe not be a pattern, but it may just be that what it is. But that's where the sexual conversation comes in.
Okay,
She
where are you
usually
meeting
brings it
where are
up.
you meeting these women?
Uh, Various places, either a grocery store or I don't go to church or anything like that, but just on the street or whatever the case may be. Never to clubs. I don't go to clubs or anything like that.
Okay. So you said that you're meeting women in the grocery store, on the street. And so where else are you meeting these women?
Basically those two things. When
So
I see a
in the
nice young
grocery store
lady,
and on the street. So how are you meeting women on the street? What city are you in?
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay, so how are you meeting women on the street? I want to understand this. How walk me through this.
Well, I don't usually use my car. I take the bus and because to save gas and time and stuff like that. Either on the bus or when I'm on my way to the grocery store, because I only go to work and come back home. I somewhat of a homebody.
Okay.
Um,
So you meeting women
and
on the bus. They coming on the first date talk about they want to ride. Listen, you know what? I'll say this. Whenever we see something, you know something. Listen, we singing songs tonight. I almost started singing Adina Howard, but we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. Okay, we're gonna keep going forward. We keep going forward. All right. So you're meeting women on the bus. You're going out on a date
yeah.
with them, and they start talking about sex. You out there looking for
Mm,
red flags. This whole. You
uh-huh.
know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, Adam.
Uh,
Whenever we see something that is coming up as a pattern in our dating, that means that there's something inside of us that we're not paying attention to. So we're
you're
going
right.
so you're going to have to take some time to look into what brokenness exists inside of your sexual past. First, let me just
Mm-hmm.
say, I think it's very courageous of you to put yourself out there and to have standards, etc. Sometimes our
Mm-hmm.
standards are just code ways in which we really create barriers for what it is that we truly want. So we hide behind these things that we call quote unquote standards when it's really just an excuse not to really get to the other side of what it is that we truly want. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you said the last time that you had quote unquote relations with a woman, it was 2017. We're talking about 2 years ago. And what happened with this instance? And we have about a minute left. We're at the 5 minute mark right now. So what happened with that?
I had to call the police.
Excuse, well, I'm sorry, but come again?
Yes. Yeah, I had to call the police because after we did our thing and whatnot, and turned out to be a psycho. I mean, I cooked her food. She dropped the plate. I said, "Oh, let me pick it up for you." She's like, "No, I got it. I got it." I'm like, "Wait a minute. Hold up. Okay. Yeah. I was stuck with the wrong person. I should have looked for the red flag.
So this
So yeah,
so
that
this
kind of
happened on the first. This happened after you all had intercourse
yes,
on the same evening.
yes.
So when she said I got it, what happened at that point?
Basically, she just went crazy. I should have looked at the red flag. She was somewhat. I hate to say the word ghetto. I hate to say the
You
word.
know, let's let's
You know
let's
what I
let's
mean?
let's 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 curve the conversation to a different direction. Because when you start going
Mm.
there, we need to shift. Okay,
Uh,
so out of all of these women, what is the thing that they all have in common?
um. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, ghetto.
You know something?
Yeah.
Listen, the one thing that they all have in common is you. So you're really going to have to look at yourself and see what brokenness exists inside of there. One, in the fact
uh,
that you're looking at a particular type of woman. Two, that you're
mm,
doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Three,
yeah.
that you're seemingly pretending to be quote unquote oblivious. You're a very intelligent man, and you like to save money. You're frugal, you're smart, you're environmentally conscious. so
Mm,
so we're not going to hide behind the, oh, I don't, oops, I did it again. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to take some time to really dig deep inside of you and see what brokenness exists inside there that's not being addressed, that is attracting the same type of energy over and over again, asking and seeking healing, as well as, this thing that you're doing where you're looking for these red flags. That to me is a red flag.
mm.
You know what
Yeah,
I
that I
mean?
never thought about it that way. That's true.
Yeah, and then also you're beating yourself up to, oh, I should have seen the red flags. You know, you know what? Recalibrate on the inside. There's some things going on inside of you that are not being addressed. And so thank you so much for calling in, Adam.
No problem. Thank
All
you.
right, and let us know how it goes, okay?
Definitely. Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, so we're gonna take the next caller, and we're gonna have to stay on top of the time because I have got to move off of this RV park in half an hour. All right, so all right, so we have people inside the room who are discussing what's going on inside of relationships. They're talking about red flags. They're talking about people who we're talking about. So one of the things that I want to know is, so when people are calling in, there are people who are giving advice in the audience. So for the people who want to call in, so let's talk about that. If we should be able to give advice in the audience, I want you to put up a 1. If advice in the audience should be kind of off limits and we should just let Tonya handle it on the phone, put up a 2. So 1 is okay with advice in the audience. 2 is kind of just let it be handled on the phone. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so we have 2, 1, 2. That's the area code in New York. 1 but respectful. 2, 2, 2, 1. So 2, 2, 2. So it looks like most people 1, 2. But private, how many times are you going to vote? Please only vote 1 time. All right. 2, 2. Okay. So it looks like most people don't want advice in the audience. It looks like most people don't want advice. Listen, the phone lines are open. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask that you please be respectful to the people on the phone and not give advice in the audience. You know, most people seem like they don't want advice in the audience. So thank you for calling in. You're on the air live now with Tonya Tko. How are you?
Hi, Tonya.
Hi. What name? What's your name?
My name is, well, you can call me Cynthia.
Okay, Cynthia. Okay.
Yes, I don't want to use my name.
Oh, it's okay.
But I was calling because I'm glad I finally got through. I'm 34 years old. I was with someone who right now he's 31. We had a child together 6 years ago. We broke up because he cheated. He came back saying that he wanted to work on things. He's sorry. He was young. He made mistakes. He was still getting out his selfish, childish ways, and now he's got them out. And so now he's coming back and saying he still wants to have more children with me, and he really wants to be with me. He wants to marry me now. But I let him come back just for a short period of time to kind of see where he was at. And he does kind of seem like he's still in that same kind of mentality where, well, not so much cheating, but he doesn't want to treat me the way that I feel I should be treated. So my question is, the thing is, I'm 34. I'm about to be 35 in 3 weeks, and I'm getting older, and I do want more children, but I'm afraid. I don't know if I should just have another child with him just for the sake of having another child, or should I move on and, take my chances with somebody else? And I'm not sure if I will ever meet him. I'm not sure if he's going to be right for me. There's so many things that I'm unsure about. Where I do have this guy who is a good father, he's just not a great boyfriend, a husband, or anything like that.
Okay.
So this is like really hard.
Thank you for calling in, and thank you for so much for being honest and expressing, how it is that you feel. It's a very vulnerable space to be in when you want to have children and, and you're getting older, you already have a child with a person who's a good father. So thank you for calling in and expressing. Um, so Cynthia, are you okay with being a single mother of two children to this man? Are you okay with that? Worst case scenario.
I thought about it, and I figured that I'm pretty good as far as like my career and everything that I'm doing. So financially, I probably won't really need him much. And since he is there, he doesn't have the finance part, but physically, he is always there for my child now. And so I thought about that, and I was like, I think I probably would be okay with it because, at least I'll be fine financially on my side, and I know he'll be there for his kids, but
Okay.
he just won't be with me.
Okay, so then that's a question that you really have to ask yourself. And so you said you have a 6-year old now, so your 6-year old is getting older as well, which means
Yes.
the age gap is getting larger between your 6-year old and any future children. So this is
Mhm.
something that you really have to ask yourself. If you're okay with being a single mother with him being the sperm donor, then you go and you do go do what you choose to do. If your main priority is making sure that you have children with a person who you know is a sure bet, and and I see people who are still answering in the comments. You know what? Why don't we do this? Why don't we leave it up to the caller? So if the caller says, I want to open this to the audience as well, then you all go ahead and you answer. But if not, then we have to kind of respect the person's preference, okay? So
Thank
because
you.
because at
Thank
the end because at the end of the day, it's not about your standards. It's not about what it is that you want or what it is that you want or what it is that you would like. It's about the person on the phone and what they want and what it is that they would
thank you.
like. What it is that Cynthia is expressing that she would like is to be able to have children with a person that she knows is a sure bet while she's still young enough to have children, and while her child is still young enough to be able to interact on some level with her sibling. Because by the time you start getting 5 years apart, you're in half of a different generation. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So if
Mm-hmm.
you're okay with having another child with him and he's already a good father to your first child, my one caveat for you is, as the least common denominator, just realize that he may not be there for you as a spouse, as a partner, and you have to weigh the options of then dating once you do have a younger child with this man. So there's two different things going on. What is dating going to be like with two children, one of them going to be a year old, because you're not going to really be ready to start dating until the child is about how old?
Probably, yeah, I would say probably after this, maybe one or so, because I will probably try to breastfeed as I did with my son. So it probably would take some time for me to actually try to get out there and, meet people and do stuff like that. So,
Okay.
yeah, that might take some time.
Okay. So one of the other caveats is you're going to have to take some time to recover after having the baby. You're going to need some time for the baby to get old enough. So listen, if you just want to use him as a sperm donor and have children, then cool. But please keep in mind that you've already seen patterns of him not treating you the way that you want to be treated. So you're going to have to keep in mind that, and you know what, please don't fool yourself into thinking that this is something that it's not. You've already stated that as a woman, you don't feel satisfied by him and what it is that he's bringing into your life as a partner. So tread with that in mind. You understand what I'm saying? And just be
Yes.
prepared to get back out there into the dating world with a 7 and a 1 year old and an ex.
Yeah.
I'm being very serious. All right. So we've come upon the 6.5 minute mark. Did you have anything final that you wanted to add?
No, that was it. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you so much for
Thank
calling
you so
in.
much.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, so the phone lines are open. It's 323-488-3149. And so 816 is saying, do the children's wishes matter? They are not getting a say so. Do the children's wishes matter about what? About whether or not the mother procreates? I don't think the children get a vote on her womb. I don't think the child gets a vote on that. As the parent, she has to do what she feels is best. Doing things differently does not necessarily mean things would have been better. This is also very true. And favored one is saying she lowered her market value. And favored one, I can see that that's the way you feel about yourself. So those are probably thoughts that you should keep inside your own mind about yourself, since you feel that way about yourself. Okay, so listen, you're on the line live with Tonya Tko. What's your name? Okay, well, we lost our caller. You people chased her away. Okay, I'm just joking. You didn't chase them away. The phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. I'm going to take the next caller, talking about love and relationships. We're going to put 7 minutes on the clock. That seems about and we only have 17 minutes left, so we have two more phone calls. So if you want to get your phone call in, if you're one of the people who've been emailing me and I've been telling you to come to this broadcast to get your question answered, then make sure that you get your question answered. Don't let the broadcast end without you getting your question answered. All right, so we are going to be here for 16 more minutes till the top of the hour. Okay, and so 323-488-3149. And so there's some people who, so listen, this is, you know what, we have to look at real life. Okay, so right now the woman has a bird in the hand. The woman has a bird in the hand. Thank you for calling. You're on the air live with Tonya Tko. And we lost this person again. So listen, the woman has a bird in the hand. She has a person who is a father who is satisfactory to the level that she feels is a satisfactory father. She has enough money to handle it on her own. And the man wants to procreate. She'll be able to keep just one children's father in the picture and then potentially be able to meet somebody else. You know, it's like you have to consider there's more than one way to live your life. Thank you for calling. You're on the air live with Tonya Tko.
Hi, this is actually way off topic. I just happened to catch you on live now. I was trying to find out, did you already get rid of the SCOBY?
I haven't grown another SCOBY.
Oh, so you did get the one that you gave away the first one.
No, I just have the one SCOBY. I haven't grown another one. I haven't done another batch.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay, okay. Did you already get someone that says they want when
Where
you do?
can you tell me about a love or relationship question? Because obviously you called in because that's what you want to talk about.
No, I just tried to catch you on live. Okay, thanks.
No, tell me what your name is. Oh, okay. All right. You know something? Let's move forward. Let's move forward. The SCOBY is the bacteria from my kombucha. However, behaving like that, coming on the lines like that, I wish I'd have caught her name. I won't make that mistake again. I won't make that mistake. Tell me what your name is. Tell me what your name is, and we'll see what happens. All right. All right. So people know we only have 16 minutes left for the. Let's see how much longer we have. We only have 15 minutes left. Nisi is saying, "Don't get upset, Tanya." Don't tell me what to do. Next caller. 323-488-3149. That was Felicia? Mm-hmm. That was probably you, private. All right. So one of the things that we have to remember is that, all of our lives are different. I don't know how many of you, and life is a gamble. There are no guarantees. There are no guarantees. So that was you, Rosemary, who just called in on the phone. Let us know. All right. So we have 15 minutes left on the clock. Hello, you're on live with Tonya Tko.
Hey, peace, love, and light, Queen.
Yes, hi, who is this?
Hey, my name is Jay. I'm from Philly.
Okay, hi, Jay. How are you?
I'm blessed, love. I woke up today.
Okay, so what is your love or relationship question, Jay?
All right, so I met somebody online, and we were talking, and we had immediately, we just had a crazy connection. And like every day for about 6 months, we were talking. While I'm at work, we're talking. When I get home, we're on the phone, video chatting, the whole 9 yards. So we decided we were going to take this relationship to another level. So I ended up, moving to her city. My job actually had a location in her city, so I transferred my job there. Because I was there. I was single for a while. I was like, fuck it, why not? Let me see what's out there. So I went out there. I transferred my job. I changed my whole life. Because I would say the idea of love or the idea of she might be my wife when I'm married. You know what I'm saying? So I go out there, and everything is good for about like a month or two, right? And then, like, all of a sudden, it's just like she just got like crazy, and I'm like, damn, like, I mean, it was like if I'm coughing, like she got a sting. I'm like, what? Like she was like very, very tense. So I was just like, I can't do this. So I told my job, look, I want to come back to where I was from and went back home.
Okay.
So my question to you is like, was I wrong for cutting out after only like 4 or 5 months? You know what I mean? But it was like, was I wrong for cutting out so early and not really, really like sticking it out? But I seen like we were bumping heads so early. I was just like, look, I'm gonna do us both a favor and cut it now. You know what I'm saying? Before it even gets crazy. So I just wanted my opinion, from somebody that's like outside, that could really,
So what is it that you're feeling? So it sounds like you're questioning whether or not it was the right move and decision. So what is it that you're hoping to hear right now on this phone call? Are you looking for reassurance? Are you looking for someone to tell you to go back? If I tell you no, that was wrong, go back. Are you going back?
I mean, I might consider it. I'm not just going to run because you said it, but, I'll definitely consider it and, put that in my thoughts and manifest whatever's supposed to be manifested, It's like,
What so
I'm just for your outside opinion, Like I was there, I put forth the effort, what I mean? I did everything in my power to show her that I was serious about being with her. But even with all of that, moving halfway across the country, changing my job and all that, she still was looking at it like, I wasn't serious and I wasn't really for her. And I'm like, well,
how
damn,
old are
like,
you and
look,
how old is she?
well, I'm 34 and
Yeah.
she was 38.
Okay, so
And
she's
I'm like,
okay.
okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So you're 34, she's 38, which means that she's old enough to know what it is that she wants and doesn't want. You said that you all
Right.
dated for 6 months long distance, and then you went to the city that she was in, and then you dated for 4 months there, but after 1 month, she started acting crazy, and you started feeling like you made a mistake.
Right, and I stuck it out after that for maybe like a month afterwards, and then I left. I didn't just leave right away. You know what I mean? I was like, all
So
right, maybe this is
was it 2 months that you stayed in this other state, or was it how long did was it 1 month? Was it 2 months? Was it 4 months? Because the numbers are kind of getting jumbled.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I was actually in her state for, almost 4 months.
Okay. All right. Okay. This sounds a little confusing because you're not really sure how long you dated and how long you were in this other state.
But no, we were talking online for a good for a good like 5 6 months. We were talking online heavy. You know what I mean? Like I said, every day, all day. While I'm at work, while she's at work at night, the whole 9 yards. Video chatting, like the
What
whole thing.
was
We were making it work.
so what was intercourse like?
Alright, so the first time we had intercourse, I flew out there to spend the weekend with her, for our first initial meetup, you know what I'm saying? So I flew out there, we got a hotel, we met up. It was cool, went out to eat, we had intercourse. It was good, like it wasn't like it was terrible, but we both we didn't know each other, so of course it's not just gonna be like John Blaze, you know what I mean? So it was good, you know what I mean? She had an orgasm, a couple of them, I had orgasm. I mean, like we both had a good experience, From after that experience, we continued, or it got even more intense. So we talked even more and more. It took about only maybe like a month and a half before I went back out there to see her. I went back out there to see her again. This time I stayed a little bit longer, but this time I actually stayed at her house. You know what I mean? First time we stayed at the hotel, which is, I understand on that. We just meet each other. And then the
Yeah.
second time I stayed at, huh?
Yeah, so then you stayed at her house. What was that like?
It was cool, I stayed at her house. Yeah, she was very clean, everything was up to par. She has 2 children. I met her children. We all went out together as a family or whatever. We had a good time. I spent a lot of time. Her kids spent a lot of time with her family as well. It was cool. That experience was cool. You know what I mean?
And then so when you talked with her about why she was tripping, then what was her response?
I used to be like, yo, why are you upset at me? Because, like, I called. Or, all right, I'll give you an example. We were at her son's basketball practice, right? There's no bleachers in the gym that we were at, so we were sitting on the floor against the wall. So the ball flew over, about to hit her in the head. I was sitting close to her enough to where I could block the ball from hitting her in the head, right? So I went to the bathroom and came back, and I started standing up because, I was sitting on the floor, my butt got numb. So she was like, oh, you're not sitting close enough to me. People aren't going to think we're together, and they're going to think we got a problem. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was just standing right here, enough to stop the ball from hitting you in your damn head. Like, I'm just like, but we're in public, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I'm a very private person. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, well, when we get in the car, then we'll talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So right then I was just like, all right, whatever. So I didn't want to, embarrass her son, embarrass us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I waited until we got in the car. I'm just like, yo, babe, like, listen, like, it wasn't nothing personal. Like, I was sitting next to you, and I went to the bathroom and just decided to stand up. Like, I didn't mean nothing by it. And she was just like, oh, some like, oh well, you think that the people are going to think we're not together, and like her nephew actually is on the best same basketball team as her son. So her brother and his wife were there. So she was like, yeah, my brother, everybody's going to think we got issues and this. I'm like, listen, love, like, whoa, like, it's not even that deep. Like, all I did was stand up because my ass was hurting.
Okay,
Like,
so let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit. So since you've been back, how long has it been since you've been back?
whew, it's only been about 2.5 weeks.
So all of this just happened. What were the conversations like since you've been back?
Well, at first we was talking and she was like, well, I told her everything, how I'm very transparent. So exactly how I'm coming at you, how I come at her. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, it's a little bit more, it wasn't as harsh, you know what I'm saying? Because I understand she's sensitive. So, I try to come at her a little, just try to soften it up a little bit. But, I come at her exactly how I come at you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
And
I'm not understanding. So listen, we're at 7.5 minutes now. So since you've been back, what have you and her discussed about the fact that you've moved back? What is the relationship like now? What did you tell her was the reason for why you left?
I told her I left because it was too much tension. We were bumping heads too much, and I just was like, there's no point of us keep going. We don't blend well. So I was like, it was just time for me to roll. You know what I mean?
What
I
have
felt like it was just time to roll.
I'm so sorry, Jay. What have your conversations been like since you've been back?
All right, so we talked maybe a few times, and the first time she was upset, then the second time she was like, yeah, you're a good person. I still want to deal with you. You did this, and that. And then, like, I guess she talked to her sisters or somebody, because the very next day, she was like, you know what? F you. I don't want to talk to you. I hate you. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm blocking you on everything. And that was it.
I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm
Okay.
confused. It sounds like you're calling in. First of all, let me just say, I truly respect the fact that you travel cross country for love, that you are open to seeing the possibilities of what could be. However, I'm a little bit
Yeah.
confused as to how you're having a difficult time recognizing a person who's speaking to you verbally abusively, and then asking whether or not you should go back to a person that is verbally abusive. It
My, my, my question, I need to cut you off now, but I'm not asking Shadi. Well, my question to you was, did I move too fast in retreating instead of like trying to like stick it out? You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
And
so
maybe like
yeah,
that
you
was
know
like the
what?
beginning
You
jitters.
move you
You
move
know what
too
I'm saying?
fast. You move too fast. Maybe you could have stuck it out to see whether or not she could have become physically abusive too. Maybe you just I don't know. I'm maybe
Okay, I feel you. I feel you.
you know what I'm saying? Apparently, you're dealing with a
Okay.
person who has wild mood swings. It wasn't a congruent union. So I'm confused. I'm confused. What more
Okay.
did you want from that situation? Apparently, there's something going on with her which may be outside of the scope of your psychological capabilities. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I know she's been scarred, she's been hurt, and I think like
No,
she tried to
she's
like
not. Listen, she's
her
not getting. She
insecurity
listen. Excuse me,
impregnate my
Jay.
flaws.
Jay.
I apologize. I apologize. My fault, man.
Jay. You are dealing with a woman who is apparently not taking care of her mental health issues. And the
Okay.
fact that you found her to be a feasible mate, and the fact that you're wondering whether or not you setting boundaries and leaving a toxic situation was moving too quick, lets me know that there's some things that you got to work out inside of you as well. Okay, Jay?
Oh, definitely. I know I'm not perfect, bro.
Not
We
that
all
you're
got
not
those
that you're
things.
not perfect, but you have to start looking at what are the criterias that makes a feasible partner for you. What is it about
Okay.
this woman that you felt was a feasible partner, and you see that she's having wild mood swings, she's irrational and not behaving logically, and the fact that you condone that and that you're actually thinking about whether or not you cutting that out of your life after 8 months, was, I don't know, maybe because the imbalance that you had 6 good months, and then once, listen, my father used to say, see me and live with me are two different things. All of the stuff that you experience from afar is different than what you experience when you're face to face with a person in their city. Who it is that you
That's
saw
fact.
is a small portion and representative of who it is that she is. So trust your instinct. Your instinct told you to hit the damn highway, and you did, and I applaud you for that. All right, so thank you so much for calling in.
Peace, love, and light, Queen.
All
Keep it
right.
going.
All
Love
right.
you, baby.
I love you too. Bye. You all say he sound like he's from Philly. He didn't sound like Philly to me, but you all know better than I do. All right, look, so there was one person who said that they wanted to call in. I'm going to take her phone call before we get out of here, and that will be the last call, and then I will see you all next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. One of the biggest things that we have to do is listen to our instincts. To the young lady who said that she was afraid to call in. You know what? I have a friend from Philly, but the Philly accent sounds different to me when she speaks it. You're on the air live with Tonya Tko. Oh, what's your name?
T.
Your name is T.
Yes.
All right. So go ahead. What are we going? What are we dealing with right now, T?
Um. So at the moment, I'm separate from my ex. Well, we were together for 8 years. Hello.
Yes, I'm here. It sounds like there's some sort of feedback in the background.
Okay. Sorry.
The vitamin
Okay.
E hasn't even shipped out yet. You give it 3 weeks to get to you, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay. So now we're separated, but I kind of feel bad, and I'm just pretty much stuck. So it's
Okay.
like I was being cheated on constantly, and then like at one point we broke up. So I'm telling him like I need to feel safe and secure in order to continue the relationship. But during this time, he's talking to somebody else, so I don't feel secure anymore.
Okay.
So it's like I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I like
What is the question? You don't know what to do about what?
moving forward because we do have kids together. I do have love for him, but in my own space, I'm not secure anymore.
So what is the question? How do you move forward outside of this relationship? How do you accept him back in? What's the question, Mama?
Yes, how would I begin to even accept him back in? Because it was 8 years of lying, and at this point, I can't trust anybody.
I'm so confused. I'm so confused. What therapy have you or him? You know what? I'm too hard on people, so I'm going to give you a compliment, okay? I applaud you for having the courage to open up your heart to try again. Okay, T? I applaud you. That takes a lot of courage, okay? You're saying
Yes.
that this man has cheated on you for 8 years, and then even when you two separated, he was with somebody else, and you're wanting to feel safe and try to figure out how to accept him back into your life, but he hasn't done the things necessary to make you feel safe. So it's like, what has changed? It's no wonder you don't feel safe. First of all, there's some things out there, and if he's reckless like that to cheat on you constantly, who knows what he's doing with his protection? So there's some things out there that he can bring home that you can't get rid of. So it's no wonder you don't feel safe. And you have children too. So what therapy has he gotten? What therapy have you
Nothing.
gotten? So there's no conversation to be had until you get therapy and he get therapy. And I'm talking about therapy separately and then therapy together. If he's willing to do the things that listen, it doesn't even seem like he's willing to stop cheating on you or to stop seeing other people, let alone go to therapy. So after you get off of this phone call, go tell him that the conditions are that he needs to get therapy separately. You need to get therapy separately, and then you two need to get therapy together. And then after you do that, call me back, and then let's see where we're at then. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. I love you. All right, listen, I love everybody, okay? I know I can be very hard. When I was going through my training for life coaching, that was one of the biggest things that they kept drilling into me. Tonya, you have to support the people with words of love and upliftment. People need that. So, thank you so much. You all are great and amazing, okay? The people who called in, thank you for having the courage to come out. Thank you for having the courage to come out. We're going to be here next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, which is also 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we're going to be here for an hour. Okay? Um, do you have any siblings or sisters to talk to about what I don't know what you're talking about, the young man in the audience. So listen, thank you. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you to everybody who called in. Even if I kind of hollered at you a little bit, please know that my voice was just elevated in love, okay? Elevated in love. He wasn't really a holler. It was just elevation. All right. So listen. We are going to talk next week, Wednesday. We're going to do another live advice hour, and make sure that you get your questions ready beforehand. I am giving preference to the people who are willing to call in. Have the courage to call in. If you can't call in, step into the bathroom, make sure that, or say you go into the store or whatever the case may be. There's also apps that you can get to disguise your voice. You know, you look them up. The voice disguising apps. There's somebody who's calling in again now. What's happening? We're at the end of our advice hour. I'm so sorry I couldn't take your call because I have to get out of here because I am on the RV park and I was supposed to be off of here 12 noon today, but I stayed around to be able to do this because I have a drive. I'm driving up to Mojave today, or near Mojave. All right. So I will see you all next week. Keep those questions coming. And thank you all so much. You can write your comments and your feelings below. Thank you. I just appreciate all of you so much for coming out and entrusting me with your dating and relationship questions and issues. Okay? We have so many people trying to call in right now. Let me go ahead and close this right now. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get out of here. So Stacy's going to call next time. All right. I will see you all later. I should be putting up more videos tomorrow. So I will see you all in tomorrow's videos. Okay. All right. Talk to you later. Tonya TKO, and I'm out. Go out there and love one another. But most importantly, what? Love yourself. And part of loving yourself, I would say one of the biggest themes that we've seen ongoing is listening to your instinct. Listening to your instinct and oops, I picked up that call by mistake, my bad. Listening to your instinct and listening to your instinct and doing things that support you and nourish you in where it is that you're going and headed. Okay? And what else? I got thrown off by realizing that I was talking and the person was on the line. And then communication. So that was the second thing. Yes, I'm going near the desert. I am going near the desert. So love yourself. Communicate. Have the tough conversations. Listen to your instinct. All right. So I will talk to you. I'll see you all in the next video. All right. Tonya TKO, and I'm out. Peace.